After missing out on a potential treble, we have a massive game against the record holders of the Champions League. Yes, it is Real Madrid. Can we pull off a major shock? Let's see. Roll that title. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 56 of the Liechtenstein Challenge here with Vaduz. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, we have a huge match against Real Madrid. But before we do go into that, I'm going to show you how we are doing in the Super League, who we have played in the Champions League, and of course, all the major incomings and outgoings with regards to the transfers. Let's get into it, shall we? This is how the fixtures are looking for the 36-37 season so far in terms of the Super League. We have not lost a game, but there have been plenty of disappointing draws in regards to how things have gone so far. So we started off the season with a tough but well-needed victory against St. Gallen, our local rivals. To be honest, in this match, we were comfortably ahead. Just looking at the goal scorers in the right-hand corner there. Maximiano getting a goal in the 34 and the 39th minute, and Marcos Polo getting a goal for us in the 53rd minute. We were 3-0 up, and then Joaquin Calvo decided to score 2 goals in the 86th and 94th minute to make us sweat. Then a tough test against a good Basel team, but we absolutely obliterated these 6-2. Goals from Maximiano twice, Lazarus, Teitman twice, and Guarini. Deme and Rex Hadge got a goal for Basel in this match. Just wanted to show you the stats with regards to it. We completely bossed them. Having said that, though, they had a decent amount of shots and attempts on target, but you can see from the XG, even though I don't particularly like that stat, we fully deserved the 3 points. However, 3 games in a row, Winterthur, Zurich and Thun all followed in draws, and it was 1-1. Winterthur, another frustrating game where we go ahead 1-1. Esposito, one of our new signings. Mitev getting an equaliser. Then again, another goal for Esposito and Zurich, one of our bogey teams, but probably not in terms of bogey teams in recent years. Getting a lucky draw again, and then away to Thun. This was a lucky draw for us for a change. Marcos Polo getting a goal in the 93rd minute, Alba getting a goal for them in the 24th minute. After that, though, 2 victories. First against Aru, Noah Lampert, and then a 4-1 victory away from home, Francisco Javier, and a hat-trick for Silla, which was really nice to see. And then a rundown against possibly our biggest rivals this season, Luzern, a 1-1 draw at home, and I think we deserved this match to get a draw based off the amount of attempts we had compared to Luzern. Then a 1-0 victory against Servette, and then back-to-back draws against Yerevan and Basel. We followed that up, though, with a 2-0 win against Young Boys, and the Young Boys manager, Steven Berghuis, who is a former Ajax player, was calling us out in this game, and he's become a little bit of a rival, especially with Young Boys winning the league last season. I really wanted to beat them, and we did, and we deserved it. 2 goals from Aurea, our Australian striker, who's been a bit hit and miss recently, and Benjamin Kaiser with a goal in the 93rd minute. And then finally, we followed up with a 3-0 win at home, thanks to goals from Esposito and Kaiser and Javier Howe against St. Gallen. So that is how things are looking in the Super League, and I'll just show you the league table. So We've had 6 draws this season, which has really impacted us compared to Luzerne on the 1 draw. We are on 7 wins, but we haven't lost a match yet. But Luzerne are very much ahead, and I'm quite concerned about the gap, just with the amount of games that I've already played. Luzerne do have a match in hand against Basel, and I'm hoping Basel can beat them to cut the gap at least. But we have to concern ourselves with the Champions League this year. Luzerne, I believe, have got European competition themselves, but yeah, I think me rotating a bit of the team during the first 13 games may have had a little bit of an impact, but I'm trying to balance the squad out. I mean, I've said all along from the start of this save that Europe is more important, but then again, I would like to at least finish this save with one first place finish in the league. And we proved it last season that we can stay up there with the big boys of the likes of Young Boys and Basel. We're just almost there in terms of getting to that first place, but we will see how things get on with the Super League further in the season. We have Real Madrid, of course, tonight, but I wanted to show you the other fixtures that we have in the Champions League, and it is a very tasty one. It is a tough one as well. Besiktas and Ajax were the first 2 fixtures, which I'll show you in a more. Then Real Madrid at home, Bayern away again, Shakhtar and Anderlecht again at home, and then a trip to my beloved Newcastle, and we finish ourselves off with a game against Atletico Madrid on the 27th of January. So it's going to be a very, very interesting Champions League phase. We started off with a trip to Besiktas, and we actually took the league undeservingly thanks to a goal from Maximiano. Nice assist from Paulo there. But Besiktas piled on the pressure, and then in the 19th minute, Kadir plays a lovely ball into Lundenberg, who makes it 1-1. And this was probably one of the most undeserved results in Europe, but we will take it. After that trip away to Besiktas, we took another trip to Amsterdam to play Ajax. Unfortunately, in the early moments of the game, Lazarus conceded a pen to Timofev, and Ajax converted the penalty thanks to Taylor. A really confident penalty, and Mencaroni cannot save it whatsoever. And here's how we are looking for 2 games into the Champions League so far. We have recorded our first point against Besiktas, and we are currently 25th in the league phase. Olympiacos, Benfica, Monaco, Leipzig and Inter are top. And at the bottom it looks like Spartak, Poznan, Molde, Sparta Prague and Roma along with Salzburg. These are the transfers for the 2036-37 season, and as you can see from the left-hand corner, we have made some big signings with regards to incomings, because we've lost quite a significant amount of players last season. And unfortunately this year we've also lost a couple of other significant players. So, first of all, Sebastian had his 9.5, I think. Yeah, 9.5 minimum fee release clause activated by PowerOak of all people, and he's decided to leave the club. One of our best players last season, only been at the club for 1 season, did really well, and I'm surprised he's not gone to a bigger club than PowerOak. No disrespect to PowerOak, but it's a bit of a gut-wrenching sale, because I believe he was going to be our next box-to-box midfielder in that free, but we have replaced him. Let me go through some other sales that we have made. So Marcus Kuhn, who is one of our Liechtenstein players, we decided to cash in on him basically. Middlesbrough came in, a few other Premier League clubs, Championship clubs, and European clubs came in, but he's decided to go to Middlesbrough. We also lost Francisco Jesus Escobar to Newcastle. I didn't want to sell this guy. I wanted to keep him, but Newcastle did come with a decent offer for him. There are some add-ons, I believe, in the transfer as well. One of them may include a free friendly. I'm not 100% certain, but it was either that or risk leaving them on a free, and I think we just had to make the sacrifice there with regards to outgoings. A surprise one here, a couple of surprise ones anyway. Matteo Spahiu, our Albanian centre back, didn't want to get Liechtenstein nationality at all, so I decided to sell him to Elche. So we wish him all the best. Andre Guarini has just got Liechtenstein nationality, so I thought with an offer that came in from Parma, let's get him out. He's been a good servant for us, but I think the time has come for us to move on, and we've replaced him already at that left back position. Georgios Patas, who we signed a couple of seasons ago, left the club. He's been at the club for 6 years, made 45 appearances. Probably significant one was in the 2034-35 season, 36 season as well. Just didn't want Liechtenstein nationality. A couple of these players just didn't see the benefit of that, and therefore we had to cash in on them. And then finally, you may have remembered from last season, Leon Nebold didn't want Liechtenstein nationality. So I've sold them to RKC in the Netherlands. I don't know how to pronounce this team's last name. Don't get me to. The only other major departure was Diego, our young Brazilian goalkeeper. He's went back to Brazil. Just didn't really make it in Spain when we loaned him out, and I just thought potential-wise, there was not really any desire to really keep a hold of him, and with the amount of time that was remaining, I thought maybe it would be better to sell him on and bring in a better goalkeeper for that sort of youth aspect. The only other major departure, but he's only gone on loan, Akirek. So he was annoyed at the end of last season. I was happy to let him go, and there was a number of clubs that decided that they wanted to sign him. Girona came in, got him on loan for a season, so he's not sold as of yet. There is no option, I believe, to sign him on a permanent deal for Girona, but we're going to loan him out for a season, see what the result of that is. He's doing okay at Girona so far. But there is potential that I might sell him on, as he doesn't want Liechtenstein nationality. Another player that doesn't want Liechtenstein nationality and has got that big match mentality that doesn't like, which always puts me off. But yeah, one of these youngsters that we've brought in, developed, and yeah, just really wants to kind of go. But something to revisit at the end of the season. Ander Alabe also wanted to leave the club. One of the best right backs I've seen on the game. We've had him for a couple of seasons now. He played quite significantly last season, coming on and off from the bench, but was really good for us and was our right back going forward this season. But he had a little bit of a hissy fit and has decided that he wanted to leave. We loaned him out to Nottingham Forest to see what happens. We'll revisit this at the end of the season, but it's probably likely that we're going to sell him for a significant profit. As you can see, his request is 18.5 million. A brilliant player, but his attitude just stinks for me. I've had so many problems with him in the last 2 seasons. So, yeah, especially with Francisco Javier making the first team now, I don't see how he can come back into the team, but we'll see. And finally, unfortunately, after we brought in Cilia to replace Casanova, Crystal Palace activated his release clause of 11.5 million. So he's decided to go to Crystal Palace, not stay with us. It's not the end of the world. We got a really good deal for it, and I think we've got a decent goalkeeper lined up as a replacement. In terms of incomings, the major incoming this season has been Yunus Fadil from Feyenoord. He has come in to replace Sebastian. to be our box-to-box midfielder. I am really excited about this guy. He is a wonder kid. He is only 20 years old. And as well, there is no release clause whatsoever on his contract. So if anybody wants to come in, they're going to have to pay stupid money. He's on a 4 years contract, and his technical attributes alongside his mentals and physicals look really good. So hopefully he's one to develop for the future. I'm not bothered whether or not with this guy if he gets Liechtenstein nationality. Obviously, I would of course love that, but there is a long way to go. He's 20 years old and looks like a really good signing for £15 million or so. The other major additions to the team have been Fabian Defhoff from Schalke. He is a fullback that can play both at left and right back. That's the reason we brought him in. Only for 6.5 million, but 5'10". I really like the look of him. A replacement to satisfy me with regards to us getting rid of, I believe it was Guarini, yeah. So he is our replacement for Guarini. We've also brought in Ivo Fraga. I really like the look of this young Portuguese goalkeeper, a replacement for Diego, and I wouldn't be surprised in the next 2 or 3 seasons if you see this guy make an appearance in the first team, maybe as a backup, but somebody I really like the look of and is developing really nicely. Somebody I've had my eye on for quite a while now, Afolabi, from Platahu United in Nigeria, I believe. 1.3 million, slotted straight into the under 21s or 19s. I can't remember the team that he is in at the moment. But I really like the potential of him. Still got a lot of work to do, but one of these players that, if worse comes to worse, then we could sell him on for a significant profit, because 1.3 million is an absolute bargain. We also brought in Mads Hove, a young Danish striker. Bit of a punt there with regards to him. And then we also brought in, I'm just going to go with Jakub, another one for the future maybe. And then we brought in an American, Kevin Corneliusson. Looking at somebody like Schubert for this guy. So he's got potential. It's just whether or not he is really going to live up to that potential. Worst comes to worst, though, we can maybe get him down the Liechtenstein nationality route like Schubert. I'm trying to pick and choose with regards to my signings in regards to Liechtenstein nationality. So there's certain players that I've signed with regards to that. A couple of others on a free, nobody in particular. I basically just signed Algier, Liechtenstein player. Maybe we'll get the potential up a little bit and maybe see him in the young Liechtenstein teams. It's just a little bit of a punt, that one. Same with Alan Peterson. That's another one for the future, potentially Liechtenstein nationality, we'll see. A couple of other major signings. So we signed Sebastian Esposito, who is currently unhappy at the moment. 34, a bit different for me, but the reason I signed him is he scored a crazy ton of goals for Basel in the last 5-6 seasons, and he's already doing really well for us. Playing him either as a striker or somebody on the left that comes in as an advanced playmaker. I don't want him to be unhappy, but that is the way of the world at the moment with him. We have got a potential contract extension with him, but for somebody who's 34 and can provide some experience to maybe help us win the league, was the reason why we brought in Esposito. I also brought in Loris Wisman, who I'm trying to loan out. Looking at potential of a Liechtenstein nationality with this one. That's the reason I signed him. Also brought in Martin Russo, another one, capped at under 20 for Uruguay, but has got a little bit of potential. We'll see where he goes with that. Same with Aaron Kurnaz, who is currently out on loan with one of our affiliate teams. Turkish under 19 international, but potentially one for the future there. The only other two major signings that I will talk about are Mencaroni. So he is an Italian goalkeeper who was on loan from Inter. We have the option to sign this guy for 10.25 million. We will see how he does this season, but I wanted somebody with potential, and the quality there is definitely, you can see that there. Um, I just want to see how he goes this season. If he does really well for us in the league and in the Champions League, and as you can see from the average ratings in the bottom of the screen there, he's doing really well so far in the Swiss Super League, done okay in the Champions League. I want that opportunity for us to buy him and secure him permanently, because for the last 3 to 4 seasons we've lost really quality goalkeepers, Casanova and Celia, for example. Even though Casanova had a bit of a hit and miss season with us in the Champions League, and Celia obviously getting us to the final of the Conference League, but at the end of the day, they didn't want to stay, and I can understand that with the release clause. But I really want us to get this guy on a permanent deal if he lives up to the hype I have about him. The only other signing is Emili. So I was looking for somebody on loan to bring in to replace Akurek, and he's done okay for a player that is a Barcelona athletic, significant player. I don't know if he has played for Barcelona. He has, but he hasn't really cemented a place in that team, and I'm not truly convinced by him. There is the opportunity to buy him on a permanent deal, but we'll see how it goes with him this season. But I'm not 100% certain we will activate that buyout clause. Just a few more from last season. I'm not sure if this was mentioned, but I just want to quickly go over them. So we signed Romero from Santander, I believe, or Rayo Cantabria, which is Santander's affiliate or second team. And then we also signed another player from Basel, Rionan Lang, a 6-foot central defender, just for potential. A couple of other players, Norbert Rakaz, a young Romanian winger, just another one for potential. The same goes for Kasaza, a Slovakian right winger, potential there to maybe get him down the line of a Liechtenstein national. And then finally, another goalkeeper who I'm already liking the look of, Marcin Grunt. Mainly the end of last season and this season, it's been basically to bulk up the first team and the academy teams that we've got, so the under 21s, 19s, and 18s. And yeah, I think in the January transfer window, because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we have a lot of money still to play around with. We will potentially look at getting in quality rather than quantity. That being said, if there's a lot of youngsters that are potentially available, we will have a look at those. Quickly before I forget, we've also signed Lee Dong Hwan from Jeonbuk in Korea, or South Korea. Another one for potential, 17 years old. We'll see how he gets on. And then we've also signed Walde Brackenridge. I believe I've said that right. Young Jamaican winger, for around 4K. And you might go like, yeah, that's probably a bit of a punt, but I mean, for $4,000 for this guy and the potential of 5 stars, currently his PA is only 3 stars. I think it's a good signing. So, after me rambling on about transfers as usual, we are at the game for this huge tie against Real Madrid in the Champions League. We're going with our trusted 4-3-3 formation. You've seen it all before. So we have got Mencaroni in goal. It's Francisco Javier at right back now. Lazarus, Kaminsky, and Traore in the defence. Gone for Zakawini, but we might change this. I think we're going to leave it at Zakawini because we don't have any DMs to really cover that position at the moment. Then it's Teitman and Alejandro in the midfield. Usually it'd be Alejandro there, but I've put Alejandro a little bit further forward this season. Silla and Malone up front, and Simon Beale, who is in for the injured Maximiano. Fadil, unfortunately, is unregistered, and that is the same for Emili. On the bench, we've got Kabamba, who is our African goalkeeper, Democratic Republic of Congo goalkeeper. He's in instead of Pastor. Campana, Roland Freund has made it back as well. Kovacevic, Defov in the defence. Danny Lampert, Javier Howe, Turacano, who is one of our young Romanian central midfielders who we signed. And Astoria and Paulo and Kaiser making up the rest of the bench. Listen to that famous anthem. Here we go for the home tie against Real Madrid. As you can see from the current screen, we are having a little bit of a renovation here at Vaduz. So the new owners have decided to upgrade the stadium. So a section of the stadium is being upgraded, and there are only 2 stands against Real Madrid. So this is going to be fun with regards to supporters. Probably the smallest amount of fans for a Real Madrid game ever. But we will try our very best to secure a famous point of victory against Real Madrid here. And having said that, it looks like Real Madrid might have the first highlight here. Who knows? Mancaroni with a clearance. Can we get the ball off them? Looks like a Real Madrid attack. Juve, Lorenz, and Renan scores in the 4th minute to make it 1-0 to Real Madrid. Typical. But a very poor defensive display from us there. It's annoying that it's come from a deflection. But yeah, not very good. Looks like we've got an injury to Simon Beale as well, so this will be interesting. Interesting though that we've got a highlight straight after it though. Or maybe we don't. Lorenz is through here. Is it going to be 2? It is certainly going to be 2. We are in for a tough match tonight. Sheesh. This is not going to be fun, folks. This might be a bad one. Great counter-attack from Real Madrid. Renan to Lorenz and just, I don't know what, Javier, Lazarus. We're all over the place at the back. Not the start I would have wanted. Looks like another highlight here to Real Madrid. I've gone cautious and direct on this one. Yeah, it's not going to be an easy game tonight. Real Madrid are just way out of there. This is what we have to compete with now, and we're not near it. There's still a long way to go in this save. Right, consider me crazy here, but I'm thinking about having a bit of a change with regards to the tactic at half time because things are not going well here. We can't get out of our half. I think I might go back to a tactic that we used a long time ago. I think I will. Renan there with a 4th goal. Yeah. I'm definitely going to do it before half time. So we did this a long time ago where we had a 3-4-3, I think. But I'm going to do this. And Zaquini is going to be the cover. Lazarus can be the ball-playing defender. I'll probably take Zaquini off at half-time. I might make some more defensive changes. Because we are just getting absolutely blitzed by them here. I'm not surprised. Probably the wrong game to show you live. But, you know, there's not many days that you play Real Madrid. We've got 2 injuries here. They are being dirty as hell here, Real Madrid. I think we'll make a couple of changes at half time. Because I don't really want to risk us in this match. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make Alejandro box to box. Simon Beale can come off. I will bring Doria on because he always complains about, you know, not getting any form of game time and stuff like that. Def off as well. I think we could make 5 changes at half time here if I really wanted to. No, I think Zatawini central defender cover is probably the way forward, yeah. Yeah, I think that's the way forward for Zatawini. I don't really see the need to change anything else. I don't really see the need to change anything else, and I've also got to consider we've got a league match coming up after this, and I don't want to risk certain players. But let's see how we do with the 3-4-3. I'm not expecting really anything in the second half, but if we can get a goal, who knows? Okay, so Lazarus is booked here, and I'd like to keep Lazarus for the next game. Yeah, let's do that. He's not had a good game, to be fair. And then maybe I think Danny. We'll go with Danny, just a defender, and we'll change Lampert around. Advanced playmaker on attack. I mean, if we could just get something from the game, even a goal would be nice, but it's done okay going to that 3 at the back. I mean, the game is pretty much over. Another highlight for Real Madrid here. We are very much deep in our own half. Lorenz, good catch from Mancaroni. Can we do anything from this? Nah, their midfield is just class. Javier's doing a decent job, but he's struggling a bit. Few deflected shots there. Doesn't really lead to anything. I'll do that. Getting round to 80 minutes now. We've at least kept it at 0-0 for the second half. We've only had 1 shot, so we have a long way to go in terms of improving this team, but we will hopefully get there. It's just going to take some time. But Real Madrid have thoroughly deserved this. But I have to say, I'm proud of winning that second half because we could have literally conceded 4 more, but we've done better than I expected. Which is saying much for a 4-0 defeat, but it is Real Madrid, and we're not going to get anything from those. Let's see how we are looking in terms of the league phase. So we've dropped to 30th, but Bayern, who we play, are also on 1 point. There is a lot of teams on 1 point. I do understand that they have probably not played the games yet, but that is what it is. But yeah, and not too many bad injuries there from Beal and Teitman. So all in all, disappointing. Disappointing to lose, but not the end of the world. Right, so the plan this season with regards to the Champions League phase is for me next to do the home game against Shakhtar. because I believe that could potentially be a game that is achievable for us to win, and as well, there's only a couple of games in between those. Then after that, as I've already played Anderlecht, I haven't shown you Anderlecht on like a live match tonight would be for Real Madrid. I'm gonna do Newcastle away from home because that is my team in real life, and I think that could be possibly a nice way to potentially end the Champions League phase. Who knows? We might still be in with a chance after Bayern, Shakhtar, and Anderlecht. But I know from playing the Champions League phase that it's really tough, and you can't expect victories against these teams like Anderlecht and Shakhtar. Um, but we'll see. We might have a 2 game episode with Atletico and Newcastle, but it probably will just be so the next episode is Shakhtar, and then after that it'll be Newcastle because that'll be sort of transfer period time as well. And then if we're out of the Champions League, I'll do what I did last time when we were in the Champions League, where it's a run through the season, and then we do the split, and then we'll see where we are in terms of the Super League. It wasn't meant to be against Real Madrid, but it's not the end of the world there. I wasn't expecting much when the runners up from last season in the Champions League in the game have come and destroyed us, walked us off the park. So we will see how we get on against Bayern. I'll update you, and I'll update you with regards to how we are doing in the Super League in the next video. Hope you've enjoyed the video today, and if you have, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I will see you for the next game, which will be Shakhtar. So take it easy, stay safe. Bye, everybody.